Chev, a really tight win of all KR. Just tell me your thoughts post match.
I think just a great win. Nobody, if you look at the team sheets, no one would have expected our team to get out there and win, but we did. We did in that room, and I tasked them with the challenge to go out there and prove everybody wrong from the get-go. And the first half, first 20 minutes we were a little bit scrappy. Last 20 minutes we were a bit scrappy, but that stuff that we did in between is a glimpse of what them young lads are capable of doing. And added that the lads from York and Alex Mellor dropping down was really good for us, and special for him.
The half-time break, we almost didn't want that to come, did we? With the way we were playing.
No, they found a groove and they were asking some questions of them, challenging their middles, and for a bunch of young middles to go out and do that and put the bodies through some stuff, it'll only stand them in good stead. And it's pleasing to see that each week we're getting a little bit more of their potential, which is good. And like I say, that's the biggest challenge that some of them lads will have been in ever in a game of rugby, and they've come through. So don't normally talk about wins as at 18s especially, but as reserves you've got to learn how to win and how to close them down and close them games out. So they've done well. And
obviously this is the second game sort of running. We've had quite a young team out there. You've sort of touched on it there, but you know, to have them going up against the likes of Corbin Sims, Brad Takarangi with that international experience, NRL experience, Super League experience.
Yep.
It's absolutely invaluable for those guys that are sat in our dressing room right now.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm casting my mind back to Hunslet in pre-season, and they were looking for answers, and they didn't know where they were going to come from. And if you think back from there to now, and going up against some better personnel than what Hunslet had in theirs, without disrespecting anybody in there, and come out on top, that's a massive and steep learning curve for them. So well done to him.
You sort of touched on it there, but how good was it to have Alex Mellor in that dressing room today, and sort of what the experience that he could bring to people like Joe Gibbons, Toby Warren, who are both having great seasons for both the reserves and the 18s.
Brilliant. I've known Mellor since he were in their shoes as a 17-year-old at Bradford, and he never ever fault us away from doing his job. And he spoke well, and he led well, and he led by example, and he's passed it on. He's passing it on to them and showing them that if a little bit of care, some good communication, and a lot of effort, you can come out on top.
And what did you sort of say to the boys at half time to try and sort of continue that momentum going into the second half that we sort of started with, but like you say, faded in that last sort of 10-15 minutes that were quite, tense?
Yeah, I just said, look, you can't get bored of what you're doing, and I know that sounds like a cliche, but if it's working, keep going with it. And for young players, that's an hard thing to do, and the best teams and they fall into being the best team because they do the hard stuff for longer, and they don't get bored and go away from what's working. So there's a little bit of discipline into that to find the value in just keep knocking off your sets and doing bits, and then ask some questions of them. But again, the young kids and that ending there I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Now it was scary, and we want to win as a reserves team, but there's lessons in that, so it's good.